Hey KU fans, welcome back to KU Sports Extra. I'm still Matt Tait. That over there is still Tom Keegan. And this guy, you all know this guy. Tom, why don't you tell him who it is?
This is Santa Claus, otherwise known as St. Nicholas, but for short we call him Santa.
Santa Claus, our second ever guest on KU Sports Extra. Do you remember who our first ever guest was?
I do.
Who?
Santa Claus.
Oh my God, the same guy. This is amazing. I sense a tradition happening here. This is how these things begin.
And he remembered me. You know how he remembered me?
How did he remember you?
He said, "Tom, you've grown."
Well, maybe a little bit. But just like last year, Santa was on his way to the North Pole, finalized some things. He obviously lives up there, but he makes the rounds, so he was making sure his elves were in good shape, ready for the big season ahead. He was kind enough to stop by and talk a little KU sports with us today. We got a few topics we want to talk about.
His elves were working on building a football program, strangely enough.
David Beatty's one of his elves, huh? Did not know that, but yeah, they're working hard up there, just like KU is here. So we've got a few things. You've gotten some letters from Lawrence, I think. A lot of people here request a lot of different things. A lot of times KU related, yeah?
Absolutely. Well, you know, Santa's a big KU fan.
Is he?
Oh yeah, I'm a huge KU fan. I went to, you may remember, North Pole State University.
Oh, right.
But we didn't have much of a basketball program, so my allegiance went to the Jayhawks from the very beginning.
Yeah.
Any reason? University's mascot is the Penguin Hawks, I believe.
Penguin Hawks,
like
yeah. It's, basically, the reason was Dean Smith.
Okay.
Back in the day, just loved his attitude, his style of play, and then when Wilt came, got to be a fan of the big man. So
yeah, and Dean didn't really play much at all, so it's amazing that his style of play is a end of the bench
guy.
Santa's got his eyes on all.
Fair enough. So we've learned a couple important things about Santa. He's a big KU fan. He played a little football at North Pole State.
North Pole State, offensive lineman.
Yeah, not bad. I heard they had some good teams. But now we're going to learn about the letters that you get from Lawrence.
Yeah.
What are the themes mostly? I mean, is it KU basketball related, or are people asking for toys and that kind of thing?
Well, surprisingly, one of the most popular requests I get is perimeter defense. They're looking...
that could be basketball or football, really, when you think about it.
Good point. Very good point.
More specifically, they've been asking for the basketball team, because it seems like the fans' interest leans more towards the basketball program.
Just a little bit.
Yeah. So, the fans, knowledgeable around here, and they feel like if we have national championship aspirations, that our defense is going to have to step up on the outside and not let Santa was. I didn't make it into the arena when they played Pitt State, but some of those Pitt State guys were driving right through the lane, and that's got to stop.
Yeah.
So,
the exhibition opener, and that's exactly right. Bill Self talked about that after that game. He said they exposed us. They made us look bad. So you obviously had an eye on that. And
I'm going to try to sprinkle a little defensive dust on the players and see if we can't tighten that up a little bit for them.
And what else do they ask for? I mean, that's a good one, and that's very specific, as KU basketball fans are. Very knowledgeable fan base.
Probably very specifically, can you bring Brandon Green some defense is probably the very specific request.
And make him get back on defense.
Yeah, that'd be a good start.
You can't play it if you don't get back.
Right.
They're looking at all those perimeter guys, though. They all need to step up. The bench guys and everybody needs to step it up and buckle down on defense.
Fair enough.
What more do they want? What are in their letters?
Well, you know, Perry Ellis, it's his senior year, and they're all really hoping that Perry can have a big-time year, get some consistency going, because he flashes brilliance and then seems to kind of get lost in the moment sometimes. So the fans would like to see, not only for the team's sake, but everyone loves Perry Ellis around here.
Well, he's a great guy, and he's exactly what you want representing your university.
Sure, right.
Absolutely. So I'm going to see if I can't put a little mojo on things for Perry and get him so that he has, because Santa would love to see him play in the NBA.
Sure.
So we would like to have him have that kind of year to where he can be maybe a force at the next level.
Does he remind you of any of your reindeer, or anybody you played with, in maybe pickup ball or anything like that?
Blitzen,
yeah,
had the same inconsistency. Could be just go hard to the hoop.
Yeah,
make the shot sometimes, not make the shot sometimes.
Sounds a little like Wayne Zeldin too.
And Blitzen was a linebacker. Strangely,
Blitzen was a 3-sport, ping pong too. Yeah.
Blitzen, is that where they came up with Blitz from then? And
he can party too.
I don't want to take the credit for it, but that Blitzen's been blitzing for a long time.
Yeah, right.
And
And
Blitz too.
introduced some coaches to the lingo, and now look at this. Who was the first football coach that you told about blitzing, and maybe the guy that kind of pioneered calling it the blitz in professional football?
Professional football. Let me think about that.
Might have been George Hallis. Was it Papa Bear?
Papa Bear was pretty much about defense.
Yeah.
So he might have been one of the first.
Okay, good stuff. Well, what other things on the list? KU, obviously basketball season is really just taking off now, but football season's kind of behind us. It's the off season. They're trying to build things, of course, as you mentioned. The Elves, Tom mentioned that the Elves are trying to build a program up there, and that's KU's doing the same thing. It starts with recruiting. Tom, you've talked a lot about this team needing to really upgrade, really everywhere.
Yeah, and I think defensively, mainly right now, you
Sure.
got to address that first because they've recruited, got a lot of commitments from offensive linemen,
Yeah.
which they desperately need, and it'll take a couple of years to develop them. It's not going to be a quick fix, Santa.
Well, defense can carry the day sometimes.
Right.
So
They
if
say
you-
it wins championships.
I've heard that.
I've been saying that for centuries.
You're the first one who said it.
But there's a local kid here at Lawrence High who I've had my eye on, Amani Bledsoe.
Right.
You guys
Right.
familiar with him?
Oh, sure.
4-star recruit.
Oh, yeah.
Tremendous defensive end prospect.
Absolutely.
Everybody,
He's got size, quickness. He's the whole package. So I understand he hasn't committed yet.
Correct.
So I'm going to try to sprinkle the magic dust.
We'll know who to thank if that happens.
If he signs with KU, and I'm hoping that I can deliver him to the program.
would be
That would
huge.
be like walking outside and seeing one of those huge bows on a brand new car sitting in your driveway. That would be like that.
Yeah,
I mean,
or a 70-degree day in November.
or that. Yeah. I mean, either way, a huge gift, and the football team would really benefit from Bledsoe, of course. He's got as you guys know, he's got every school on his list. He's narrowed it down, but everybody wants him. Ohio State, Alabama, Oregon.
Actually, Ohio State is no longer recruiting him.
They dropped him.
Yeah, so what you have is Oregon, UCLA,
Right.
Missouri, Kansas.
I can tell you right now, he's not going to Missouri if Santa has anything to say
Okay,
about it.
that's a good
Fair
one.
enough.
That would be a good magic to sprinkle as well. And there are two others. One is North Carolina State,
Right.
and then you're going to have to forgive me for
Dave
forgetting
Doran,
the sixth.
right? Former KU coach. Dave
Yeah.
Doran,
Mhm.
head coach at North Carolina State. So
Oklahoma's the sixth.
there you go. Right.
Yeah.
Right. Grew up in Wichita a little bit. Amani did, yeah.
Amani grew up in
Yeah.
Wichita, yes, which is just as close to Norman as it is to Lawrence.
Crazy. It'll be fun to watch how that decision plays out. Probably will go all the way down the wire. I mean, we're talking signing day for him before he makes a decision. Most likely, anyway. He's certainly not been in any hurry yet. And man, if KU could factor its way in, that'd be impressive stuff.
Have him on one edge and Dorrance Armstrong, who's probably the most talented football player
Yeah.
in Kansas' team, on the other. That's a pretty good start to turn around the defense.
Yeah, he certainly. Armstrong showed it as the season wrapped up. He was just better and better each week down the stretch. So very cool stuff. I know, Tom, you had another question. A lot of times, obviously, kids don't get everything that they want on their list, right?
Yeah, so can you guarantee a victory for Kansas in football?
Ever? Are you asking ever?
Next season.
Next season. Well, the way I look at it, much like Coach Beatty looks at things, you have to earn it.
I love that. You are so in tune with
Yeah.
Coach Beatty.
So it's one of those things. If the kids put in the work and are deserving of it, they will get those victories.
So you're not just going to hand them one. I mean, there's no magic ticket you can just put in their stocking. Not even a win over Ohio, for instance.
It's the classic.
Ohio's not bad.
You've got to be a
Frank
good
Zola.
boy to get your presents from Santa. So if you earn it, you will get it.
Fair enough. Anything else for Santa, Tom, before we send him on his way?
That does it for me. I just want to say that I think that Jayhawk fans have to be impressed with how into KU sports you are, not just basketball, but football as well. How knowledgeable you are, considering there are 351 Division I basketball programs and 128 or so Division I-A football programs. So good job, Santa.
Yeah, well, Santa doesn't like to play favorites.
Not a front runner.
No, but Santa's got a heart, and he follows his heart, and it's KU all the way.
Well, appreciate you being with us. That's all the time we have for KU Sports Extra, the Santa edition, which is now becoming a thing. And I'm happy to say this year, Santa didn't have to bring any coal with him like he did last year. I don't know if Charlie Weis ever got that coal that you left for him, but we did get it to the right people, so hopefully it ended up where you had hoped.
Well, I didn't have a big enough piece of coal that Charlie deserves, so I've still got some of the elves are minors.
Okay,
and
right.
We're trying to dig up, so haven't forgot about Charlie, as I'm sure most of the fans around here haven't either.
Doing the best they can.
So to clarify, you're not talking about minors ORS. You're not breaking any labor laws. You're talking about minors MINERS,
right,
as there are in West Virginia.
UTEP grads.
Absolutely.
All right, that's all the time we have here for KU Sports Extra. For Tom Keegan, for Mr. Claus, I'm Matt Tait. We'll talk to you guys next time on another episode.